Do you still use slime minions? Or maybe snow? Do you still frag run for coins? Or still use dragon armor? Well, in this video I'll be comparing some old metas to see if they still work. First, we have slime minions. They were once the king of minions and basically carried Power Owner's channel. But are they still relevant today? Well, let's test it out. To test it, I'm gonna be using one tier 11 slime minion with a hyper catalyst, corrupt soil, an enchanted hopper, and a flycatcher. And in 4 hours, I was able to make over 100k coins. In comparison with a basic mycelium setup, I made 80k coins. The only issue I have with this setup is that it's too good, cause you'd be producing coins from thin air and it'll inflate the already inflated Skyblock economy. Snow minions were one of the best minions at one time, making millions every day. And even today, you can use them to make a decent amount of coins. After leaving one for 4 hours with Hyper Catalyst, I was able to make 26k coins. So even though they make an okay amount of coins, they are horrible compared to the actual best ones. Also, they were good for mining XP back in the day, but these days getting mining XP isn't really that difficult. Next, you have F7 frag running that has existed for years at this point. And yes, it has seen some ups and downs. But is it still worth it in 2023? Now, this is highly RNG dependent, so I can't just tell you how much money you can make. But here's a rough estimate. Let's say it takes you 2 minutes to complete a frag run including downtime. So that means you'll be able to farm 30 blood mobs per hour. Now all the mobs have a 50% chance to drop their fragments. But this chance can be buffed by using the looting enchant. So let's say you can farm 7.5 of each giant per hour with an 80% chance of getting the drop. This means you should be able to make almost 10 mil an hour with this setup, only considering the giants. Cause you can make a decent amount of coins from the other blood mobs and lost adventurers. I recommend you max out your speed by using things like a black cat, the speed attribute, and the speed attunement, as this helps a lot. Back in the day, floor 4 made almost 10 mil per hour with bones, as dropping one spirit bone was almost 5 mil in profit. And with a decent party, you could expect 2 bones per hour, but bone meringues were nerfed, making spirit bones absolutely worthless. Until recently, cause the admins have leaked a new berserker buff update, and to craft one of the new burst weapons, you need spirit bones and a spirit sword. So the price of bones has gone up, so you should be able to make a decent amount of coins from F4. If you want to check the entire leak, you should check the vid linked in the description. Now with a basic zealot farming setup, as in full young and an AOTD, you can expect to make 3 to 4 million coins an hour, depending on your RNG. Now if you want more coins, I recommend getting better gear, like any ranged weapon like a Flower of Truth, Frozen Scythe, or Hyperion. Then max out your zealot for the plus 10% special zealot chance buff from Taizo, and once you've done that, get a level 100 leg enderman and start farming zealot bruisers in the zealot bruiser hideout. Now this is highly RNG reliant, so giving you a rough estimate is difficult, but you'll probably make like 6 to 7 mil per hour depending on your luck. Now, Goblin AFKing was one of the best ways to make passive coins back in the day. Also, since the admins nerfed the armadillo pet, a lot of sweats have been grinding powder, and eggs are a decent way to grind mithril powder from golden goblins. So you could try AFKing goblins to make mil. Just kidding, it doesn't work. You need to farm them manually, either from the dwarven mines that make a pretty stable amount of coins, or from the crystal hollows that have a chance of dropping blue eggs worth 1 million coins each. Now, the armor made from enchanted orphan parts used to be the best armor at one point. Then Maxor came out and completely outclassed it. But then people learned how to cheese floor 7 with it, and it came back. But then the meta changed, and it's kinda useless now, but there are places where you can still use it. Using Young and a Black Cat can get you over 600 speed, which can make stuff like blood rushes way faster, if you can survive, that is. Also, this setup is still viable for people who can't use Maxor. Next, we have the oldest mid-game damage meta, Strong Dragon Armor plus a Tarantula Helmet. Now with this setup, Reforged to Ancient, I deal over 133k damage, but with almost base tier Crimson I can deal over 147k damage. Also, if I remove the base tier Crimson Helmet and replace it with a Tarantula Helmet, I can deal 148k damage. Whoa. The tiger pet used to be one of the best pets in the game, with insane ferocity and multiplicative damage boosts. But now the ferocity has been nerfed, and the damage boost is now additive. So this makes the tiger absolute garbage. Well, not really. You can get a max leg tiger for like 40 mil, and it's a huge damage boost. Also, it's really good for Kudra, his ferocity. Also, if you are a player who recently returned to Skyblock, I recommend you play the Rift. It's fun, and you can also make tens of millions of coins easily. I'll link a few Rift guides in the description. If you watched the video, thank you for watching the video. Comment as comments.